WNCN News at 7.
Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Mike Gonzalez. We start with an early morning SWAT team rescue in Durham. Authorities say shortly before midnight, Alex Fernando Mesa Acosta kidnapped 3 people from a home on Sean Lane in Clinton. Police later rescued the children from his home on Alston Avenue in Durham. Mesa Acosta is charged with 3 counts of kidnapping. Police tell us Mesa Acosta abducted his ex-girlfriend, Evelyn Barahona, her 9-year-old daughter and 4-year-old son by force. Mesa Acosta surrendered this morning without incident. Authorities said that Barahona suffered minor injuries, but the children were unharmed. Deputies took Acosta back to Clinton. Campus alert issued at UNC this afternoon after authorities say a man exposed himself at a bus stop. It happened shortly before noon at the bus stop on Manning Drive. Anyone with information is asked to contact Crime Stoppers. Developing story tonight, Missouri Governor Jay Nixon declared a state of emergency this afternoon following the continued unrest in Ferguson. It all comes after authorities say Officer Darren Wilson shot and killed 18-year-old Michael Brown. It came after an altercation. Witnesses say the officer shot Brown when he had his hands up. Meanwhile, protests continued last night in Ferguson. As many as 200 people stood in the streets holding their hands up in the air. At least 3 more businesses were vandalized last night. Governor Nixon also implemented a new curfew he hopes will cut down on the violence.
Again, this is not to silence the people of Ferguson or this region or others, but to contain those who are drowning out the voice of the people with their actions.
Curfew takes effect at midnight and goes until 5 a.m. Meanwhile, a federal investigation continues into Brown's death. Well, there's some really good news about one of the 2 Americans sickened with Ebola. Dr. Kent Brantley is undergoing treatment at Emory Hospital in Atlanta. He issued this statement saying he's recovering in every way. Brantley says there are some hurdles to clear before he can be discharged. He and fellow aid worker Nancy Wrightball became infected with the virus while serving in Liberia. Right now, a joint military operation is underway in Iraq to regain control of a really important dam there. NBC News reports that U.S. fighter jets, along with armed drones, launched airstrikes on ISIS positions near the Mosul Dam. This as Iraqi and Kurdish forces conducted ground operations. Militants gained control of the facility last week. The dam serves as a vital source of energy in Iraq. Today, British media outlets reported that members of Iraq's Yazidi population are traveling back to Mount Sinjar to find relatives they say were forced to leave behind. ISIS had the mountain surrounded with thousands of people trapped on top, but U.S. airstrikes made it possible for hundreds of Yazidis to make it home safely. Let's turn our attention to the weather. It was a little muggy out there today. Kim Diener has your forecast.
Yes, Mike, it was muggy, get hot around the area. Coming up in just a few moments, Mike.
All right, Kim, we appreciate that. It is move-in weekend for several universities in our area. Take a look. This was the scene this afternoon outside the dorms at NC State. The university says around 4,500 freshmen will be moving to campus. School officials call it their strongest ever academic freshman class. Move-in at NC State, it continues through next Tuesday, and classes begin next Wednesday. Students are also moving in over at UNC. More than 4,900 first-year and transfer students are coming to campus this weekend. Move-in runs through Monday. The first class will start on Tuesday. WNCN is your back-to-school headquarters. Whether it's information about move-in dates, bus schedules, or school supplies, we've got you covered. Just download our news app on your Apple or Android device. We have a back-to-school section with everything that you absolutely need to know. Well, today is National Airborne Day, and you can bet it did not go unnoticed in Fayetteville. Take a look. The Airborne and Special Operations Museum, they held a celebration marking the 74th anniversary of the first jump by a paratrooper. Today's event also marked the dedication of Interstate 295 loop around Fayetteville. Today it was officially named the Airborne and Special Operations Highway. Today's event kicked off with a reminder of that airborne heritage. The Golden Knights performed their amazing and daring parachute demonstration. WNCN's Brandon Herring went up in the air with the Knights. He gives us a look at their mission.
The Golden Knights. Before every flight of the Golden Knights, it's a lot of fun. In Fayetteville, Brandon Herring, WNCN News.
Brandon, thanks a lot. Amazing stuff there. The Golden Knights members, they travel around the country. Get this, 275 days a year. They're back to a normal schedule after sequestration grounded the Golden Knights last year. Well, after 120 years, a local church is on the move. Up next, the impact it's having on the community and how they're banding together to make it happen. Plus, the groundbreaking and amazing technology that aims to protect our troops on the battlefield, how it can be used by civilians as well. Stick around. Welcome back. Thanks so much for staying with us tonight. Pope Francis visited a community for the sick and disabled in South Korea this afternoon. Thousands of people came out along the way to greet the pontiff. His motorcade stopped several times as he blessed and kissed small children along the way. Pope Francis, he then visited a place called the House of Hope. It's a center for disabled people founded by Korean priests in the 1970s. Well, a church that has been located in the same exact place for more than 100 years in Johnston County is moving. As WNCN's Shamariel Ratliff reports, it's an experience that brought out just about everyone in the town of Four Oaks.
I was just living for this day.
Since 1893, Blackman's Grove Baptist Church has been in the same spot off Strickland's Crossroads Road in Four Oaks. Saturday morning, the 121-year-old community church was moved across the street.
We were landlocked at this intersection. We were bordered in by the cemetery and also by the highway and other properties. And the church has been experiencing continued growth these 13 years. And so we had no way to expand where we were at.
After a unanimous vote from all 160 church members to relocate, residents came out to witness history in the making, including 88-year-old Marguerite Johnson. She's been a member of the church since 1949.
Well, I was just thanking God that I was able to be up here and see all this.
Church members say there have been talks of this move for more than 10 years. It took a lot of time, money, and faith to get the church in its new spot.
There is a lot of memories made in it, and a lot of families have grown up in the church and just preserve our old sanctuary so we wouldn't have to have the old church look.
With the move comes more room and new additions. Sunday school rooms and a fellowship hall will be added to the church grounds to handle the growing congregation. Members say they're thankful they stepped out on faith.
It's going to be different, but we'll get used to it.
Shamariel Ratliff, WNCN News.
Shamariel, thanks so much. And work on the church, it should be completed around Easter. In the meantime, church members are having their services at their fellowship hall. Texas Governor Rick Perry is responding tonight after a grand jury indicted him on felony charges. Special prosecutor says Perry abused his power by trying to pressure a district attorney to resign. Authorities say that Perry vetoed funding for a statewide public integrity unit run by District Attorney Rosemary Lemberg after she refused to resign after being convicted of drunken driving. Perry says that veto was in fact justified.
I exercise this authority to veto funding for an office whose leadership had lost the public's confidence by acting inappropriately and unethically. I wholeheartedly and unequivocally stand behind my veto.
Perry also called the indictment against him an outrageous abuse of power. In tonight's What's Next, we are entering an augmented reality, new technology that lets you see the real world and a virtual world all at the same time. It's called ARC 4, developed in Raleigh. Melanie Sanders has the story.
Today, we view the world.
That's Melanie Sanders reporting. Unbelievable stuff there. The inventors of the ARC 4 hope this new technology will be used by the military in the next year or so, and they are currently talking with military as well as the commercial industries. ARC 4 sunglasses could be on the market in just 3 or 4 years. Also, if you want to see more of this, check out the company's brand new glove. With a simple gesture, can also send virtual messages to soldiers on the battlefield. Just go to our website, it's WNCN.com, and click on the What's Next page. New figures show that tourists are spending a lot of money in the Tar Heel State. Listen to this. Commerce officials say 95 of North Carolina's 100 counties reported increases in tourism spending. Wake, Guilford, and Mecklenburg counties say visitor spending topped, get this, $1 billion. State officials say tourism directly supported nearly 200,000 jobs and generated more than $4 billion in payroll income.
And now, your WNCN weather forecast.
Well, I hope you got the opportunity to spend some time outdoors today. Maybe had what we forecast all the way through the week.
It was muggy today, so even more muggy tomorrow,
huh? Steamy tomorrow.
But you mentioned the timing was good for this weekend.
Yes, we needed the sunshine.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Thanks, Kim. Appreciate that. Good day for this. Take a look at this. UNC basketball coach Roy Williams was the latest participant in the Ice Bucket Challenge. Attorney General Roy Cooper challenged Williams and his entire staff. Coach Williams then challenged the basketball team and UNC football coach Larry Fedora. The Ice Bucket Challenge raises awareness and money for ALS research. All right, so you think 30 minutes on the stationary bike feels long when you're at the gym? How about doing it for 24 hours? Up next, the challenge one local group of riders undertook, and it was all for a great cause. Stay with us. Appreciate you watching. Welcome back. Thanks so much for staying with us tonight. Well, it was a great day to get rid of those old documents in Durham. The WNCN Shredded event, it was another great success. Take a look. Hundreds of people showed up to Coastal Federal Union along Page Road in Durham to get rid of those old documents that have been hanging around the office or the house way too long. You know about that. People who came say it was well worth the wait.
We've got about 10 years worth of tax records we had to get rid of and burn out our little home deal we had, so we decided we'd bring it out and get rid of it all.
And this is a really nice setup. I mean, it's nice just to drive through and them help you out and do it.
Good stuff. We have one more Shredded event coming up next Saturday. It's at the Crown Complex in Fayetteville from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's open to the public. It's absolutely free, but there is a limit. You can only bring 4 boxes. Well, talk about a long ride. A 24-hour bike challenge had just wrapped up in Raleigh. This is video we shot last night when the event got underway. Raleigh Orthopedics, they hosted the challenge. Teams competed for prizes and to raise money for a great cause. It's the Kids in Community Foundation. Prizes were awarded based on total mileage and funds raised.
Any dollar that goes to the Kids in Community Foundation, which they can spread across Wake County, is beneficial, whether it's $5 or $5,000. And it really just kind of shows how we can come together as a community and rise together and do something fun and challenging to raise money for a good cause. And players from the Carolina Hurricanes were also out at the event last night. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Their own set of waterworks, but the forecast is definitely on the hot side. It feels like summer. It is still summer, and Mother Nature is letting us know that. Steamy for tomorrow. That's going to be the key word.
I like that word. That says it all. Steamy. That means I'm going to be sweating. Because I was sweating today, that's for sure. All right, Kim, thanks so much. And thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it. I'm Mike Gonzalez. On behalf of all the crew, we hope you have a great night. We hope the good news is yours.